In the 1960s, a French scientist named Michel Jouvet went looking for a switch in a cat's brain. One specific patch of cells, near the base of the brain, whose only job is to keep a sleeping body still. He found it, and then he turned it off. The cat fell asleep exactly the way it always did, slow breathing, eyes closed, sinking down into the same deep, dreaming stage of sleep as any other night. Nothing about the sleep itself had changed, only the lock was gone. And the cat got up. Still asleep, eyes shut, it rose into a crouch. It stalked across the floor after prey that wasn't there. It arched its back at an enemy that didn't exist. It pounced on nothing, pinned it, and bit down. Its body was acting something out, in detail, with purpose. Whatever was playing behind those closed eyes, it wasn't blank. It had a plot. Because that lock Jouvet switched off is not a small thing, and you have one too. Every night, when you drop into a dream, that same patch of cells paralyzes you on purpose, so you don't physically act out whatever is unfolding in your head. Jouvet didn't wake the dream up. He didn't add anything to it. He just took the brakes off and let the dream move the body, and the body went hunting. So here's the question this whole thing is really about, not whether animals sleep. We know they sleep. The question is whether, behind those closed eyes, there's a movie running. Whether a cat, a rat, a bird, maybe something far stranger than any of those, lies down and dreams. And to even ask it honestly, we have to split it into two very different questions. One we can actually answer, and one we maybe never can. The first question is about the machinery. And here, the evidence is staggering. When you dream most vividly, you're in a stage called REM, for the rapid eye movements that give it away. Your eyes flick around under the lids. Your brain lights up almost as much as it does when you're awake. And your body goes still, held down by that same lock Jouvet removed. This stage was only named in humans in the 1950s. But once we knew what to look for, we started finding it almost everywhere we looked. In nearly every mammal, in birds. The cat on your couch runs the exact same cycle you do. Now, a quick piece of honesty up front, because we'll need it later. REM is not the same thing as dreaming. People dream in other stages too, and we can't see a dream directly. REM is our best window into it. It is not proof. Hold on to that, because once you do look through that window, the question stops being whether animals dream and becomes what, exactly, they might be dreaming about. Start with rats. At MIT, two scientists, Kenway Louie and Matthew Wilson, taught rats to run a maze for a reward, while recording the individual cells firing in a memory center of the brain. Each run lit up a specific signature, a sequence of cells firing in a specific order, like a fingerprint of that exact path. Then they let the rats fall asleep, and they kept recording. And in REM, the fingerprint came back. The same cells, firing in the same order, at the same speed, replaying the run, stretched across the same length of time the real run had taken. The match was so precise the researchers could look at a sleeping rat's brain and tell you which part of the maze it was moving through in its sleep, not whether it was dreaming. Where it was dreaming it was. That's not a vague flicker of activity. That's a memory of the day, played back at night, which is exactly what your dreams are made of. Then it gets stranger, because it isn't only about replaying the past. Sometimes it looks like practice. Zebra finches are little birds that have to learn their song, note by note, the way a child learns to talk. Two researchers, Amish Dave and Daniel Margoliash, recorded the part of the bird's brain that controls singing, while the bird sang during the day. Then they listened in while it slept, and the same circuits fired again, silently, running through the song in the dark, in the same rhythm as the real thing. The bird wasn't making a sound, but in its sleep, it was going over its song, again and again. The young ones may literally learn to sing in part by rehearsing it in their dreams. So far, this is a story about animals that are, in the end, a lot like us. Mammals, birds, warm, familiar, with brains built on a similar plan. You could tell yourself dreaming is just a club for the smart and the cuddly. And then you get to the spider. In 2022, a researcher named Daniela Rosler was filming jumping spiders at night. Baby jumping spiders happen to have a translucent shell, so you can actually see structures inside them move. And what she caught on camera stopped people cold. At regular intervals through the night, the spiders entered a state where the retinas inside their eyes flicked back and forth, in bouts, while their legs curled and twitched. Rapid eye movements. In something with 8 legs and a brain smaller than a grain of sand. The bouts got longer as the night went on. The same way our dreaming stretches toward morning. She was careful, and we have to be too. She called it a REM sleep-like state. Like, not proof that a spider lies in its web and dreams. But the machinery, the very thing we thought belonged to us and our warm-blooded cousins, was flickering in an animal that split off from our branch of life more than 500 million years ago. And it doesn't stop at spiders. In 2023, scientists watching octopuses sleep found that their quiet rest is broken, every hour or so, by sudden 60-second bursts. The animal's body stirs, and its skin erupts, cycling through colors and patterns, the same ones it flashes while awake and hunting and hiding. Nobody can say for certain what that means. Maybe it's just maintenance. But one possibility the researchers raised is hard to shake, that the octopus is, in some way, running back through its waking life, wearing its memories on its skin. So the machinery is real, and it is ancient, and it reaches almost unbelievably far down the tree of life. But this is where I have to slow down and be straight with you, because the picture is messier than a clean story would like. Look at the platypus. It has more of this dreaming stage than almost any animal ever measured, and yet its brain refuses to fit the tidy categories at all, mixing signals that are supposed to belong to different states of sleep. Its cousin, the echidna, blurs the line even harder, folding what should be 2 separate stages into one. The deeper you go, the less the textbook borders hold. Sleep, and whatever dreaming is, turn out to be older and weirder than our neat labels. And that brings us to the second question, the one we maybe can't answer. Everything I've shown you is machinery. Eyes moving, cells replaying, skin flashing, legs twitching. We can measure all of it. What we cannot measure is the thing you actually care about, the experience. Whether there is something it is like to be that sleeping rat. Whether the spider, in its own small way, sees anything at all. Because a dream isn't really the brain activity. The dream is what it feels like from the inside, and that is the one place we can never go. You can watch the screen flickering from the outside. You can see the movie is playing. You will never get to sit down and watch it, and the animal can't tell you what was on. So we're left holding something stranger and, I think, better than a simple yes. We went looking for whether animals dream like us, half expecting the answer to be a short list of the clever ones. Instead, we found the engine of dreaming running in a rat, in a bird, in a spider, in an octopus. Which means dreaming almost certainly isn't something we invented. It's something we inherited, a piece of very old machinery that was already turning in the dark, in creatures with nothing else in common with us, long before there was anyone around to call it a dream. The cat on the couch isn't doing a lesser version of what you do at night. It's doing the same impossibly old thing. They're more like you than you think. And tonight, when you close your eyes and the movie starts, remember that you are not the author of it, and you're not the first. You're just the latest animal to lie down in the dark and watch the day play back.